Hello everyone and welcome to the first season and the first race of the iRacing AOR Formula 3.5. My name is Kieran McGinley and I welcome you to the first session of qualifying here at the Circuit de Barcelona at Catalunya. Well, it's the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona. You know what? We haven't even got 10 seconds into this stream and already I'm already mixing up my words. Anyway, we have 28 drivers, I believe, in this one for the first race here in iRacing Formula 3.5 here in AOR. There is Lindstrom for Sim Sports News Green, making his way now on towards the long right-hander, and that is Depeck there in the pit lane. Ilbrink as well. In Radical Online car, making his way out. There's Reed there in Team AOR Orange, making his way now through that right-hander, down the hill then towards turn 5. And let's see now the Renault-powered cars with that AOR logo. I wonder where it gets its name, the Team AOR Orange. I'm really stuck for clues here. 10 minutes of qualifying, so it's short, sharp and sweet. As we see Holstein there for Comrade Gaming, making his way now through towards the last section of the lap. Of course, now we've got a couple more corners to go. That's where the old turn, well, last two turns were. Now it's replaced with this chicane, riding on board with Holstein there as he makes his way now through the final corner. On board with him as he makes his way now on towards the start from straight to start on the first laps of the session then, with only just over 8 minutes to go as we make our way now over that crest and then down on the run towards turn 1 then. Braking hard then, just at that orange wall as you turn in for turn 1. Watch out for the sleeping policeman on the inside there. A little bit of a moment from Holstein there as he goes through turn 2. Then it's the long right-hander of turn 3, relying solely on the aero there to get you around that corner. Braking then towards turn 4. This right-hander here. Got to get it right. You've got to be patient on the throttle as well. On the run down towards turn 5, downhill on the braking. Very easy to lock up a tyre, just like Holstein did there on the front left, using all that curb there as he makes his way now through 6 and then towards turn 7 and 8. Acceleration here is all the way uphill, and you can see there Holstein just didn't quite get that sweet spot there as he now rises through the long right-hander down towards what's basically now the next hairpin, braking then hard down towards the left-hander. You can see it's one of the slowest parts of the track, turn 10. Up now towards 11, then through turn 12. And you can see there, Holstein did not decide to attack the curve of turn 11. And probably a wise idea as we make our way now through turn 13, really attacking the inside curve now, in towards 14 and 15 there. And you've got to get that exit spot on through the long right-hander of 16, full throttle all the way through, and now towards that start-finish line, and is a 1:26.5 from Holstein, and it puts him, I believe, in second place. There is Delisle there on top of the standings right now, and, well, Holstein, that's a good lap from him, 1:26.5, but he is about 3/10 off pole position right now. Dove then makes his way out onto the track for his first outlap. As you can see, Delisle is on top, Holstein in second, Reed in third. Reed now in fourth as Moric grabs third place there, but over half a second off Delisle's time right now. Barton there is in fifth, Lindstrom in sixth, Hua just goes seventh there. I believe that was 9/10 off the leader there. But we're watching Catalunya making his way now in towards turn 12, then towards the braking zone of turn 13. And a lot of drivers here with quite a bit of experience behind them. And you can see Catalunya really making good work of that chicane, then through the final corner and on towards the start-finish straight. Let's see what sort of time he can put on the board there. As you can see, the times are coming in thick and fast. 1:26.4, which puts him into second place. The number 37 car for Glacier Comrades puts himself onto the front row for now. Just over 5 minutes of qualifying to go. Here's Sapilla making his way down around the final corner. Also for Glacier Comrades, let's see what he can put down as a lap time. He did put a 1:29.2 down, but it doesn't seem to have counted with the number 11 car, so he's got to go again. As you can see, Herbigno makes his way onto the standings. 3/10 off Delisle's time. Delisle is running away with it right now. 3/10 now. His gap at the top has come down to. However, it's still 3/10 that someone's got to find to try and grab that top spot then. 5 minutes to go here in qualifying at the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona. And you can see Delisle is still top of the standings. And you can see this helmet cam here. You can see it's not the first time we've seen that front left-hand tyre actually stop rotating all the way through turn 5. The nature of the corner, where it's downhill, can make it so that it's really difficult for that front left tyre to stay, well, planted to the ground, if you like. So the drivers have got to be careful of that as well, because it means less steering input. And less steering input, well, obviously means you get less steering. If you figured that one out, good on you. A little bit of a moment there for Sapilla out of turn 10 there. The slowest parts of the track. It's basically the hairpin around here. You see now through the last couple of corners, through 13, then down towards turns 14 and then through 15 now. And let's see what sort of lap time Sapilla can put on the board as he makes his way now around the final corner and towards the start-finish line. And let's see, it looks like a 1:26 flat, which still puts him in second place, 0.186 off top spot right now. Here is Dove now making his way around the final corner now for Team AOR Purple on towards the start-finish straight. Let's see what sort of lap time he can put on the car. The number 200 car making his way towards the line. That is a 1:27.9, and that puts him in 21st place, 2.1 seconds off the lead. There's Imre for AOR Yellow in the number 147, making his way now through that long turn 12. Seems to just go on forever, that corner. A little bit of a touch on the gravel there, as he's really trying to explore the limits wherever he can. Making his way now through 14, then through 15, and on the run now towards turn 16. And all you can do now is put your foot hard down on the floor and hope to get the best lap time you can. 27.1. And where's that going to put him on the scoreboard? It's 19th place, 1.3 seconds off top spot right now. So Delisle right now looks untouchable. Here's Human now for NHR Esports, making his way through turn 10, through 11, and then the long right-hander of turn 12. We still have Delisle on pole position with Sapilla in second, Herbigno in third place. But there is Human making his way now in towards that 14-15 complex, and then through 16. You've got that sleeping policeman on the exit of 15 to really stop you from attacking that curb, but no such thing for turn 16. That's a 28.4 from Human, and it puts him into 24th place. The number 77 car pulls to one side and no doubt will go straight back to the pit lane. Here is Pinsker, currently 13th place in the standings right now, 9/10 off the leader right now. The only driver that hasn't set a lap time just yet is Depke, who is on the board as not setting a lap time just yet. But Delisle still top with just over 2 minutes to go. And I'm wondering here if Pinsker can try and make his way back up the order. Currently 13th place in the 86 car, the Team Tepper car. Now through turn 7, up the hill through turn 8, and now on towards turn 9. Flat out, it seems, in these cars. But yeah, you can see there, that was a little bit of a lift there from Pinsker. Instantly backtracking on that claim. And you can see there, not using that right-hand side curve. You'd see in other series, maybe that right-hand side curve on the entrance would get attacked, but these curbs can prove a little bit difficult But at the moment, most of these drivers seem to be in control of their car. They're not sliding around all over the place. We've seen a couple of drivers have a couple of moments, but in general, the car seems stable here today. And that, of course, could change everything in just a couple of minutes' time. But the sun has sort of gone in behind the clouds at the moment as Pinsker now makes his way towards the start-finish line to start. Is this going to be a new flying lap? He did set a 1:30, so I'm doubting that's a representative lap time. Here comes June around the final corner in the 310 car. And he's set a 28.2, so that's quicker, but it puts him up to P24 for NAB Racing. So he'll hope to, well, he can't improve now, because there's only 46 seconds on the clock. But yeah, Depka, unless he's out there on a flying lap right now, has no chance of setting a time on the board. And you can see there, that is the last corner. But that is it then. So qualifying over, and Delisle is on pole position. Sipala in second, Hervigno in third, with Gadamai in fourth, Barton in fifth. As you can see there, the grid going through. Woodford seventh, Ilbrink in eighth, Holstein ninth, Morich 10th, Clay in 11th. As I'm missing all of the Pitsker 13th, Ryan 14th, Hua 15th, Bennett 16th, Lindstrom 17th, Desabai in 18th there, Imrai 19th, Dove in 20th, Waldo 21st, Rayetz 22nd, Santana 23rd, June 24th. Then Human in 25th, Tommen in 26th, and Nguyen's 27th, with Depka and not setting a lap time in that qualifying session whatsoever. And as always, with the first commentary role, names can be a little bit deceiving, names can be a little bit confusing, and they can get the better of you, but you know what, it's going to take a race for me to warm up and get used to these names. New names for me, if you're watching for the first ever time, hello, welcome to the AOR iRacing Formula 3.5 round number 1 here at the Circuit de Catalunya. Make sure you're also following AOR on Twitter. It's at Apex on Racing. And if you really want to, you can follow me on Twitter. It's at KSMCGF1. There is a lovely view of turn 7 and turn 8 there. And obviously the apex of that corner sends you up the hill. You can lose the back end there if you're not careful with that right foot of yours. And that can cost you valuable time. We've seen that left-hand wall of turn 8 claim many cars there and many egos of some of the drivers around here. But cars are just now getting gridded up and ready to go. Of course, before the grid and the lights out and the formation lap begins, there is a 2-minute period where the cars get ready and the drivers get ready so that they can finalise their setup, finalise their fuel loads, and get used to, well, racing in this race. Quite funnily enough, 28 cars here on this grid then. And turn 1 is going to be an interesting one. It's not quite the slowest corner on the track, but it is a heavy braking zone, so expect some cars to try and go up the inside. Don't be scared to see 3 wide through here, not at all. But this is the feature race. We have the sprint race as well later on, and hopefully you'll join me for that one as well, as we're just waiting for the last couple of drivers to approach the grid then. 16 corners takes us round the Circuit de Barcelona, and a circuit length of 4.655 kilometres. And, well, there is a lap record. Daniel Ricciardo said it, a 118.441. But it looks like we're ready here with the lights. And, well, they're on yellow now. And round 1 is underway. What are the starts like? Well, we've got a grandstand in the way. However, all the cars seem to launch very well then as we now head down towards turn 1. A flurry of colours then. Down towards turn 1 we go. It's 2 wide then as we head through, 3 wide even through turn 1. That's fantastic. Oh, a bit of contact there for the number 16 car. Oh, the number 12 car's around. It's carnage on the exit of turn 2. Absolute carnage. There's a car going over, flying over there. Now, I'm not quite sure who that was tumbling over. Well, that's going to be significant damage to the car then. As, well, most of those cars then, I'd say about 8 or 9 cars got caught up in that second corner fury then. But looking at it, it looks like some of the cars have got away well. There's the blue car, the number 11 car. You can see one of the cars completely out of this race. Too damaged to even continue. No front wing, no front suspension, nothing at all. But looking good then for the number 11 blue car as they now make their way down towards that coveted turn 10. But it looks like then, after a little bit of carnage has happened, we've got ourselves Delisle still leading the way. Sipola in second, Herbigno in third, with Gadamai down to 4th place now. He's not far away from that leading battle then. I'll try and confirm who those drivers were that were caught up in those incidents very, very shortly. But Delisle all he needs to know is that he's, well, leading the way. He was under a little bit of threat down towards turn 1. However, we had 3 wide through turn 1, and there's someone who's gone straight. He's actually used the old part of the circuit there to come back to the pit lane. I don't know if that's in the rules, but anyway, there is Sipala, who's now leading. So what's happened to Delisle? He's come into the pit lane, has he? He's falling down the order, so I'm not sure if he's come into the pit lane or not, but that does hand Sipala the lead of the race. Herbigno in second, Woodford in third, Gademeyer in fourth. So Sipala then is just going to focus on building that gap towards the cars behind. There is Woodford there, third place in the number 78 for Radicals Online. And of course the first lap of the race is a bit misrepresentative of fastest lap time, but the British driver here now making his way down towards turn 5. And I wonder here what the strategies are going to be. Do you push and go and gun for it for your life? Or do you have a little bit of a strategy in mind? But Woodford then is just looking to keep the pressure on. So it'll be interesting to see what happened to Delisle then. There's Depka in 16th place from the USA in the number 077 car, trying to chase down 15th place in front of them as they head now down towards turn 7 then. A little bit of grass picked up there. That is Ilbrink in front of Depk as they now make their way up the hill and through turn number 9. And Ilbrink here has got a lot on his hands, I believe, as they now head their way now down towards that heavy braking zone of turn 10. And it looks like Depk just gets the move done. Slightly misses the apex there, but no matter. He's got the move done anyway. There's Ryan then, British driver, making his way around the final corner and trying to chase down 6th place man. And that is Pinska ahead of him. And Ryan is in that slipstream, making his way now down towards turn 1. And the red Radical Online car looking to try and take advantage of Pinska down towards turn 1. Couldn't quite get there. Not enough to really close in on him as they now head their way through turn 3. But Sipala still leads then on lap number 3. And a great view here as we head down towards turn 4. The end of sector 1 is approaching. But yeah, Herbigno now up to 2nd place. Woodford 3rd, Gademeyer in 4th, Holstein in 5th, Pinska 6th. There's Ryan then in 7th with Bennett behind him. Desiree in 9th with Morich in 10th at the moment. And it's been a pretty eventful first lap. There have been a couple of overtakes since then. Sipala from Finland here is making sure he just gets away from the cars behind him. And if we could get a look at that gap, and let's see how far that gap is. It's 1.1 seconds. But to be honest with you, if that is Herbigno behind him, he looks closer than that for sure as they head now towards 14 and 15. We've got a battle on our hands here as it's Herbigno behind. Woodford, of course, in that red car for the Radicals in 3rd place as well. As we make our way down the start-finish straight to start lap number 4 here, down towards turn 1. It is Sipala still in there. And that's Bennett gone around then at turn 14 for Comrade. The British driver has had a moment there. And let's have another replay of that as he's making his way now in towards turn 13. Through the chicane he goes then through 14 and 15. Let's see what happens. Ah, yeah, he just caught the curb and the car just sent spinning around. A little bit of a half spin for him. But yeah, he'll be very, very gutted about that one. Just attacked the curbs too hard onto the sausage curbs, and that was enough to unsettle the car. I've said in qualifying how the cars are actually pretty stable. But obviously if you get them onto the curb, that's not the case. Here's Riots then having to defend. I believe this is Dove then as they head down towards turn number 4. Side by side then they go, and they're still battling down towards turn 5. And this is Riot and Human then doing battle then on the exit of turn 5 through the slight kink of 6 and on towards turn 7 and up the hill through turn 8 then. And Riot's there for Radical Online, holding on to 11th place. The man from Netherlands here looking to try and now get 10th place. If he's got a little bit of pressure from that car behind him. I believe that is Dove actually behind him. Meanwhile, Morich then in 9th place for UI1 positive as he's making his way now in towards turn 13 and really trying to chase down the car ahead then. The Czech driver putting pressure, applying pressure in the 66 car. He wants that 8th place. Full throttle now through the final corner and on towards the start-finish straight. Slipstream he'll have then down towards turn 1. Will this be a move on Desiree down towards turn 1? He's thinking about it. He goes for the move down the inside then. Morich up the inside in towards turn 1. Can he get the car slowed down? Yes, he can. And that is a move for 8th place. Meanwhile, that's Sippala. Sippala, race leader, having a bit of a problem there. Let's have a look at the replay. Now, he was leading the race completely on his own. Now, down towards turn 1. What happens here? So he brakes for turn 1. Looking to steer in. And then through turn 2. And the back end just goes on him. The back end absolutely goes on race leader. So we have a new race leader. Our 3rd race leader of this race. And Sippala then will be absolutely furious with himself then. He'll have thought through qualifying and through those first 4 laps, the car's never done that before. But the one moment he doesn't want it to do it, which is when he's leading the race, it absolutely happens. So that means Herbigno will take the lead of the race. Of course, the standings don't update until the cars cross the start-finish line. So it's going to look like Sippala's leading, but he's not. Delisle, meanwhile, down in P17. So this is Holstein looking to try and, well, trot form a little bit of a train right now. Pinska's right behind him. This is for 5th place, as Pinska looks to try and hold ground. Not only has he to attack Holstein ahead of him, but he's got to watch out for Ryan behind him. And not only that, he's got to watch out for Desabai as well. Here comes that luminous yellow car as they head now down towards turn 1. And that is Holstein there, who simply could not keep that car behind. And meanwhile, Woodford then 2nd place. Sippala looking to try and make a charge here in 7th place. And he has got Ryan ahead of him. Pinska now down to 5th place. Holstein with a great move now. He's up to 4th place. Sippala here will be looking for a move on Ryan. Down towards turn 4. Up the inside he goes. Looking to try and take the corner. Ryan holding on the outside. That means he'll have the inside corner for turn 5 as they head now down the hill. Ryan up the inside, Sippala on the outside, and they're still going side by side as they head through turn 6. Everything Sippala's done with that one as they now head on towards turn 7 and then through turn 8. They've got to be careful as well with this battling, but a great exit from Sippala through turn 8 and not brave enough to go up the inside at turn 9. That's pretty brave. I think that's pretty wise from him as well. Moric as well behind in 8th place. Looking ominously on, but Sippala goes for it down the inside. He can't stop it in time, though. And Ryan gets involved, and Moritz just simply says, thank you very much. I'll take that position too. Sippala here, I think, is risking from trying too hard, and Pinska's now around. What I was saying, these cars are pretty stable right now. Let's have a look at what happened. Yeah, he just lost it through the chicane then with the weight transfer, and the rear tyre said, you're having a laugh. So Pinska now down to 9th place after a great overtake on Holstein earlier on. But meanwhile, we've got 2 battles going on here. We've got a battle up ahead. And there's 2 cars going side by side. There's now 2 sets of cars going side by side. Sippala going for a move. And that is Ryan taking the position away as he now moves up to 3rd place. Good move from Ryan then as he now makes his way through the long right-hander of turn 3. I believe, actually, to correct myself, that's probably for 4th place. If I get a close look at the standings, and it is for 4th place. So 4th place then for Ryan. He'll have Gadamaya ahead of him. But yeah, Ryan, knowing that was a decisive move, he's now got to close in a 9-second gap, more than 9 seconds, to catch Gadamaya ahead. It's Herbigno leading right now on lap number 7. But we've got Sippala here trying to chase down the car ahead. Currently in 6th place. Oh, there's another car around there! Into the wall, losing a front wing. And that was Moric, who was ahead of Sippala, now into the wall, who just simply lost it through the chicane. Oh, so unlucky for him. Well, these cars now are proving a handful. And that's Holstein, who is out of the race then in the Comrade car. So we'll be seeing no further action or no further part from the number 9 car. Meanwhile, Gadamaya from Austria looking to try and close in on 2nd place ahead of him in the slipstream. Fast lap time of a 1:27.3. Personal best, or previous lap, my apologies, of a 27.8 as they make their way down towards turn 1. And he's really starting to close in on Woodford, but a little bit of a moment from him through turn 2 might just stunt that a little bit. Here's Sippala down the inside for 4th place. And this time it looks like he's got Ryan around the outside of turn 2, and he has. So Sippala now moves up to 4th place. And trying now to recover from that earlier spin, which cost him so much time. But now back up to 4th place then, as he's got Ryan just behind. Looking to apply that pressure still. Moric there in 6th place. Desabai is not too far behind, but Pinska also trying to recover from his earlier spin here on lap number 8. Sippala now has got another car ahead of him. It's going to be for 3rd place. But yeah, it's been relatively hectic, I'd say, in this first round here in Barcelona. And now Cipolla now making his way through turn 9. He's got Ryan for close company, but Ryan's starting to fall back just a little bit as they now head down towards turn 10. He's got Moritz as well behind as they make their way down towards turn 10. Watching for that apex, watching for that traction as well. And the British driver of Ryan has to try and hold back and try and hold on to 5th place. That's a lap car just getting out of the way there. As they're all now making their way through this complex. And that was Ilbrink there, who's just moving out of the way as he now makes his way. He's currently running 19th place at the moment through the final corner. And here is Woodford then. And I believe that's Gademeier past. Yes, it is. Gademeier through then, so up to 2nd place. Let's see how that happened. Down towards turn 1. And it just looked like there, Gademeier was braver on the brakes. Woodford just said there's no point battling. So Gademeier now up to 2nd place. And Woodford there maybe realising, oh, we've got another car going side by side then through turn 1. Right, trying to hold it through there, but Bennett's come on top through turn 2. And now he's into the top 10 in the number 22 Comrade Gaming car. And Rayet's there now down to 11th place. So good bit of battling between the two of them there. But Bennett now wins that battle. He's up to 10th place. We've also got Woodford there, who will now be, well, he'll be hoping to try and hold on to 3rd place. He's got Cipolla, who will be trying to really close in on that gap now to try and recover from that earlier spin. But at the moment, lap number 9 here. And they're making their way now through turn 9. Obviously, we've still got Herbigno leading this one a little bit wide there from Rayet's there as he takes some cones with him as they now make their way down towards turn 10. So lap 9 here, Herbigno leads with Gademeier 2nd, Woodford 3rd, Cipolla 4th with Ryan in 5th. That is your top 5 so far. And I believe June, I think he's still running, but not quite clear to me yet. Obviously, I know Holstein is out of the race. Meanwhile, Moritz then is closing in to the car ahead. This is the battle for 5th place between Moritz and Ryan. Then Moritz going to the inside. Ryan trying to do everything he can to defend this position. Moritz trying to go up the inside, but Ryan holds on then. And Moritz there, I think, just deciding not to go for it just yet. But he's letting Ryan know he's there. That's the important thing. And that's what Moritz will be hoping for as they now make their way out of the exit of turn 4 and on towards turn 5. Lap 10 here, Herbigno still leads then, as we watch this battle between Ryan and Moritz develop as they both head their way now down towards turn 5. There's also Dezerby there in 7th place, looking to try and take advantage of this battle if it goes his way. Obviously, when two cars battle, they slow each other down, and that just means a little bit more action, a little bit more battling, and Dezerby just has to be sure here that he can really take advantage if these two battle too hard. And you see there, Moritz again running wide on the exit of turn number 9. So he's really trying to attack the car, really trying to get everything out of it. And Ryan gets a little bit tail happy on the exit of turn 10. And you know what? I think Moritz will have seen that, and that'll give him a little bit of encouragement as they now head down towards turn 13 and then through 14 and 15. And let's see what Moritz can do then. It'll be round number 2 between the two of them down this start-finish straight. Watch out for Dezerby as well, right behind them. The Czech driver of Moritz is looking to try and take advantage as we head now down towards turn 1. Looks a little bit too far behind, but watch out for Dezerby here, making his way now down towards turn 1. Again, not quite close enough yet, but this battle for 6th place, or sorry, for 5th place, is heating up, I would say. Not a great turn 1 there for Moritz. And again, not a great entrance to turn 3 for Dezerby, so they really just cancel each other out there. But this battle for 5th place, I assume, will keep going for quite some time. As we now head through turn 4, on the run now down towards turn 5. So Herbigno leading by 5.9 seconds ahead of Gademeier. Woodford 3rd with Cipolla 4th. He's trying to close in on that gap to Woodford, 7.7 seconds at the moment. We're watching Dezerby now going through turn 8. At the moment, cars just seem a little bit spread out over the field, and this battle for 5th place is the closest we've seen 3 cars on track together. And there is Herbigno, race leader from Belgium, making his way out of the final corner and on towards the start-finish straight for Devotion. And he starts lap number 12 in the lead of this one. But there is Gadameyer in second place, 5.9 seconds behind. He's got a back marker ahead of him. But there is Woodford. And I tell you what, Woodford's not actually dropped off as much as I thought he would. He's still there, looking to take advantage. Sipola, meanwhile, is looking to get past a back marker and really take advantage of the slipstream whilst he can then, as they head now down towards turn 1. And Sipola just makes his way through back marker. Doesn't make too much of it, but I think Sipola will be very happy that he got the slipstream there to help him try and close in on the car ahead, which of course is Woodford for third place. There is Ryan then, fifth place. And Moritz seems to have dropped back a little bit, as has Desabai on the front of Moritz. So all three of them just seem to be setting their own pace at the moment. There is Pinsker then, from Great Britain, making his way now through turn 4. Human in 9th then for NHR. There is Bennett in 10th for Comrade Gaming. And we try and close in on Human ahead of him for 9th place at the moment. And Moritz there in 6th place for UI1 positive. Czech driver just looking to try and close that gap once again. And it can be a little bit demoralising when you make a mistake on a lap. And he's got to go down the inside of the back marker then, as they make their way through turn 10, now through 11 and 12. Through the right-hander they go. And Moritz here just has to regain his composure and regain that speed he had before, because he was closing on Ryan. So he's just got to try and find that pace once again. Brezina, that is the back marker then, the other UI positive racing car, who is now in 18th place and just letting his teammate lap him. Ilbrink there is in 19th, also a lap down at the moment for Radical Online. And if there's any damage to that car, there probably will be after that first lap mayhem. Again, not quite sure which cars are out of the race and which cars are in. But all I know for sure is that plenty of cars will have had damage. And I believe it starts from Reed, because he's 5 laps down on Holstein. But yeah, to me it's not quite clear enough at the moment. However, we have ourselves on lap number 13. Herbigno still leading this one. Gadameyer in second place with Woodford in third. Sipola fourth with Ryan in fifth. Moritz there in 6th with Desabai in 7th. Pinsker 8th, Herman 9th, Bennett 10th, Dove 11th, Reyes 12th, and Delisle, our pole sitter, currently 13th place. He made a mistake somewhere, either that or he came into the pits, so not quite sure. Not quite sure which way that went. We didn't see what happened to Delisle. So in any case then, we've had 3 different race leaders. We've had Delisle, but he fell down the order after the second lap. We then had Sipola leading this race until he lost it at turn 2. Now we have Herbigno leading on lap number 14. Moritz then trying to close in on Ryan ahead of him, and he's in the slipstream this time around. That's Dove around. That's on the exit of turn 12. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit too heavy on the right pedal, and the number 200 car goes around. Nice little spin there to get him facing the right way. And I think he only lost about 4 seconds there, so fair play to him. I couldn't have done that. Woodford there, currently 4th place. And Sipola, that is Sipola who's made a move for 3rd place. So Sipola onto the podium now, after his spin earlier on. So Woodford now down to 4th place, Sipola up to 3rd. And I'd love to see how that happens. But anyway, Sipola up to 3rd he goes, and Woodford in 4th place. There is Moritz there in 6th, and he's closed right up to the back of Ryan then as they head up the hill and then through turn 9. Flying through. Ryan's got to be careful here because Moritz has got a new lease of pace down towards turn 10. But not quite close enough. Maybe turn 10's not the ideal overtaking opportunity right now. As they head through 11, then through this long right-hander of turn 12. Now on towards 13, then the chicane of 14 and 15. And just to give you an idea of how close this battle is, you can almost see the writing on the front wing of Moritz. That's how close he is as Ryan now heads through that final corner and on towards the start-finish straight as we start lap 15 here in Circuit de Barcelona, or Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona. I keep getting those two mixed up. Anyway, Ryan seems to be doing just enough here to keep Moritz behind, and having a good section through that chicane seems to be helping him as they now make their way through the long right-hander of turn number 3. And then on towards the long right-hander of turn 4 to almost go back on yourself on the run down towards turn 5. Herbigno still leaning by 7.9 seconds from Gadamir. And that is Human in the pits then for a fresh set of boots. And we've also got another car in the distance coming into the pit lane. And Human then is going to come out side by side with this red car here. Now, I don't know if that's for position. Either way, the NHR car comes out ahead. And that is Ilbrink, so he was a lapped car, so he just backed out to let him through. Moritz then, 6th place, still trying to chase the back of Ryan ahead of him. And there is Depka in the pits. And looking for a new set of boots. And he'll rejoin then, looking at P15 and the 077 car. And Gadamir from 2nd place is into the pits then for a fresh set of boots. So 2nd place man in to try and cut this gap to Herbigno. He's gone for the undercut here. And, well, he'll be looking here to try and get this undercut to work. Plenty of cars in the pit lane right now getting serviced. And Gadamir here, away he goes. And out of the pit lane he goes. And Sipola then, that means he'll go up to 2nd place. However, right now, he's looking to try and chase down the car ahead of him at the moment, which is Woodford. Woodford's found a way past. He has. So Woodford's actually back ahead of Sipola. So Sipola's really struggling out there. He has really good moments, and then just either it's a mistake or Woodford's actually got back past him on pace as they head now down towards turn 7. It's been a mixed bag for Sipola. He's made some good moves, he's shown some good pace, but then mistakes seem to set in. So that's got to be something he improves on for round 2 as he now makes his way down towards turn 10. No doubt he'll want to get past Woodford once again. I was a little bit confused how he was 3rd, and then I realised actually Woodford was in and about of that one. Through turn 12 they go. Herbigno still leads this one. And of course Gadamir into the pits. So that means he's going to try the undercut. He's got 8 seconds to make up, so he's got to try something different to Herbigno. Sipola now makes his way around the final corner and into the start-finish straight. And once again, Woodford tries to defend from Sipola behind him. Sipola in the slipstream, but he just looks a bit too far away for my liking, down towards turn 1. And it looks like he is, yes he is, too far back through turn 1. But he's got to try and keep that pressure on Woodford there as they head through turn 3. You can see 2 different lines there going through turn 3. Sipola wanting to use the outside line on the exit of turn 3, whereas Woodford's preferring to keep it tighter through turn 3. 2 different lines, but they seem to be doing a similar job as Sipola clips the grass then on the exit of 4. And this is a battle between Pinsker and I believe this is Bennett behind him. Actually, that is Gadamir making a move for P6. He's on fresh tyres though as he heads now down towards turn 5. Looking good then for Gadamir as he makes his way through. He's got to try something. He's trying the undercut. He has to try this to try and get an advantage on Herbigno. There is Sipola then, still in 3rd place, still trying to chase down Woodford. And it has, like I said, been a mixed bag for Sipola so far as they now make their way through in towards turn 12, on towards 13, and then through that chicane of 14 and 15 before getting into the final corner of turn 16. But look how close Sipola is this time around. And we can see how close he is this time around. Sipola here going for the move then with the slipstream. And it looks like he's going to make this move done then. Not if Woodford has anything to say about it, because they're still side by side down towards turn 1. Sipola takes the inside line. Woodford trying to find another way past, but he can't. Sipola then makes his way up to 2nd place. And the number 11 car in the Glacier Comrades car gets back up to 2nd place. So a nice move there from the Finnish driver. And into turn 4, and now gets hold of 2nd place, and he can now try and once again get away from Woodford. So then Herbigno still leads then. It's a 20-second gap, almost 21-second gap to Sipola he has right now. So looking pretty comfortable for him right now as they now head up the hill. Then here is Moritz still trying to chase down Ryan ahead of him. And this battle seems to have gone on for quite a while. However, They are still pretty close to each other. That should make their race pretty interesting, that's for sure, as they now make their way down towards turn 10 here, into that tight left-hander. We've seen cars go for moves down the inside there. There is Herbigno then in the pits for Devotion. The number 19 car in. You can see all these retired cars in the pit lane. And Herbigno is in then for his stop. They raise the car. Down it goes. And away he goes then. So that is going to be Sipala who retakes the lead of this race. But where is Herbigno going to rejoin? Currently in third place. So that is going to slot him comfortably ahead of Ryan. And it does. So Herbigno then rejoins in third place. So where does that put the undercut? I wonder. Let's see if we can get the standings to roll over. There's Dove then in 11th place. So Ryan is in 4th there. Moritz 5th. Gademeyer in 6th. So the undercut hasn't worked then. So Gademeyer finds himself still in 6th place. And Herbigno's rejoined in 3rd. So the undercut hasn't worked. But I suppose for Gademeyer it was worth a try. He had to try something to get out of that 2nd place spot, but hasn't worked this time around. He's just got to try and get raw pace now to the end of this race. Dove then in 11th place for AOR Purple, trying to hold back pole sitter Delisle, and he now makes his way down towards turn number 5, and Herbigno there now in 3rd place as he now tries to chase down Woodford ahead of him. We have Sipala leading this one, but Herbigno on fresher tyres here for Devotion. And pole sitter Delisle, well, whatever happened to him on lap 2, lap 3 of this race still remains a mystery. All we know for sure is that he fell down the order and now is trying to drive his way back through the pack then, currently 12th place. He was 18th place at one point in this race, and Dove there is the latest car to try and put up a fight with him as they head that now through 14, then through 15, and then on towards turn 16, and Dove now comes into the pit lane, and there is another car ahead of him. There's Moritz in, and did the two of them pit together? Yes, they did, and Ryan still rejoins ahead of Moritz then, and Moritz, well, he tried to follow the car in, maybe get a quicker pit stop, didn't quite work though. Rhett is in, and change of tyres from him. Dove also in from 11th place, or 12th place he was. And away he goes, very close in the pit lane, very quick the crew's work on the car as they now make their way out of the pit lane. And they look like they're going to rejoin in formation then in 12th and 13th place respectively. The number 200 car now has a fight on his hands towards the end of this race. And now making their way through the first turn then. Moritz in 10th place. Making his way now on towards that left-hander of turn number 7. Moritz making his way up the hill and still trying to chase down Ryan ahead of him. He's been staring at the back of that rear wing for so long. But he's got to try and find a way past. They're pretty much well matched for pace here, the two cars of Ryan and Moritz. However, they've got to now settle this battle out on track. So Sipala leads then, Woodford 2nd, Herbigno 3rd, Gademeyer in 4th, Pinsker in 5th, Bennett 6th, as the order reshuffles because of the pit stops, and then the standings don't update until each car crosses the start-finish line, so that's why you've got cars jumbling up and down the order. So Moritz then is in 10th place, chasing down 9th place, as we make our way now down towards turn 1. A little bit of a clip of the grass there, doing some gardening as he makes his way now down towards turn 1. Through turn 2 he goes, and now all the way through turn 3. Still trying to chase down Ryan ahead of him. Not far away, is he? It's been that case for the entire race, to be honest with you. Through turn 5 they go. And then Moritz once again still trying to close in. Looks like Ryan has the upper hand in this early part of the stint then. Sipala then comes into the pits. And what could have been from the lead of the race will actually be from kind of lead of the race. Woodford follows him in then. So that means The order's going to be shaken up once again, but that does mean Herbigno retakes the lead of this race. And to show you how much of a lead he did have, Sippel has only just come into the box, and Herbigno's already through turn 1. Gadamai then moves up to second place once again, so that will become the battle of the podiums. Got another car in the pits as well, as that is the red car leaving first of Woodford. Radical car out first, but that looks like another car that's willing to get involved in this battle then. We'll have to wait and see who that is, but Sippel then rejoins in 5th place, as I believe that's... Is that Pinsker? I think it might be Pinsker who's rejoined there. But Sippel obviously has come into the pit, so it's Herbigno who leads, Gadamai in second. And once they cross the start-finish line, we'll be able to know and be able to see what's going on here. There you go, Sippel rejoins in 5th place behind what is his rival in this race, and that's going to be a big blow for him because, of course, he was ahead of Woodford in the before the pit stops. Now rejoins behind him, so maybe there was a setup change for Sippel. Or whatever the case was, the Radicals guys managed to get the car going again before Sippel did. So Sippel will be frustrated with that one. He'll have to repass Woodford on track before the end of this race, but Herbigno then retakes the lead here in Barcelona as we now make our way in towards the chicane of 14 and 15, then through the right-hander of 16. You can see the car ahead then coming into the pit lane. You can see those tyres were not in the greatest shape, so Woodford then moves up to 3rd place and Sippel up to 4th. Then this then becomes once again the battle for the podiums here. Make their way down towards turn 1, both of them in the same camera shot then, and Sippel really has to get he's got his work cut out for him, that's for sure, as he now makes his way through turn 3 and on towards the right-hander of turn 4. Let's see what these guys can do towards the end of this race. Well, there is Moritz then in 7th, still trying to close in on Ryan in 6th as they make their way towards turn 5. And I think Moritz will be more and more frustrated the longer he's behind Ryan, because it's quite there, but not quite there, but quite there, but it just doesn't seem to have the pace to go for the move right now. So it's a little bit tricky for him. However, we still have that battle to really unfold. We've got Sippel here in 4th place now, making his way through the right-hander, and then on towards turn 13 through 14 and 15, and again he's got to try and get past. He has to try and get past for this one, making their way through that long right-hander and on towards that start-finish straight. We've also got this battle between Ryan and Moritz once again. And on towards the start-finish straight they go. And once again, Moritz looking for that slipstream, looking for that chance, that golden opportunity to try and pass Ryan. But it's just not happening for him at the moment. Sippel still on the back of Woodford ahead of him. Like we said, Woodford has got to make this move out on track as he makes his way now down towards turn 5. Through the left-hander, long left-hander. But you can see he's all over the back of Woodford ahead of him. And he has got to try and get this pass done out on track. He was let down in the pit lane. Woodford got the jump on him. But Sippel here has got to refocus and try and take this position. Going down towards turn 10. A little bit of a front left lock-up there. Through 12, then through the long right-hander of 13. And you can see here that Sippel has got the pace to pass Woodford. But of course, passing them is a different story. You can catch up to the driver, but then you've got to try and pass them, which is more difficult as we head now through the right-hander and on towards the start-finish straight. Down towards turn 1 once again. Through the first right-hander, then through turn 2, the left-hander. Through turn 3, the right-hander once again. It's a much, much longer right-hander. And then on towards turn number 4. Another long right-hander, which really demands that front left-hand tyre. You can see there Sipola just trying to keep the car in check. Clips the little bit of the grass there. And then in towards turn number 5 through the slight kink of 6. There is Herbigno then, race leader, making his way now in towards turn 12. That long right-hander once again. Lots of long right-handers here as he makes his way now through 13 and then on towards 14 and 15. Gadamaya is in second place for Glacier and he's doing a pretty good job right now. Had a decent qualifying and he's just keeping that car where it is on the track. There's Woodford there with Sipola third and fourth respectively. Battle for the podium is nowhere near over yet as they make their way now down towards that chicane. And you can see now Sipola has got a good run on Woodford then as they head through the final corner and on towards the start-finish straight then. Sipola has got the run. They're going side by side now down towards turn 1. It's a long, long way now over the crest and then down the hill. They're still side by side then towards the braking zone of the first corner. Then Sipola's got the inside line and he takes the position. Sipola then up to third place he goes and he passes Woodford on track. And Sipola then moves on to the podium positions. And Woodford there gave him a good run for his money down towards turn 1. But he was just on the outside and he just couldn't quite get the inside line for turn 2, which would have given him a good advantage. Again, Sipola getting a little bit hairy on next to turn 4 there. The car just on the back end there, wanted to give up, but he was able to keep control of it. Here we go then, through turn 7, up the hill now, through turn 8. And then on towards turn number 9. Long right-hander down towards turn 10. Woodford gets a little bit onto the gravel there. You can see where the tyre marks have been. But lots of drivers are using that gravel. Again, Sipola on entrance towards turn 10. The car just wanted to swap on him, but he wasn't having any of it through the long turn 12. On towards turn 13. Again, both drivers using that gravel there. They're playing very, very fine with the track limits, not only with the track limits, but with the gravel as well. Take too much of it and you'll pretty much go straight on. It's Woodford's now. It's Woodford's turn to have a go for third place on the back of Sipola. Slipstream as well as Sipola moves to the right-hand side. And he says, if you're going to pass me, you have to go around the outside. Woodford will try and go around the outside as we head down towards turn 1. Can't quite do it. Maybe he'll try a little bit of a cut back through turn 2. Yeah, you can see 2 different lines through 1, 2 and 3 for Woodford to try and gain some sort of advantage. Didn't quite work for him this time around. But in towards the closing stages of this race, as we see now, Sipola's trying to hold on to third place here. And what was the lead of the race has suddenly turned into a little bit of a recovery drive from Sipola. Third place at the moment, trying to hold off Woodford as they head through 7 now, up the hill through 8. We've seen Sipola have the pace behind Woodford to catch him. Catching a driver is one thing, overtaking them is another, and Woodford's actually collected a cone there and is dragging that with him down towards turn 10. He might not know it's there, to be honest with you. It's just caught under his car. I don't think that's going to affect anything. But, through now turn 12, through this long right-hander. There it goes. He got rid of it. And now through turn 13. And on towards the chicane of 14 and 15. I have to say, Herbigno has been on top of his game today. The man from Belgium has really, really been on top of his game as they make their way now on towards the start-finish line. So lap 28 here. Herbigno, there he is, in the lead of this race. And it has been pretty comfortable for him. Gadamaya, well, over the last 10 laps has closed the gap from 7.7 to 7.4, and that included a pit stop as well. So it just shows you how Herbigno has taken full advantage of the overcut and decided here to go longer in the race as he makes his way now down towards the final corner. The final corner? Not just yet. Through turn 10 is what I meant to say. Through the final corner. Through now turn 11, then through turn 12. Backmarker getting out of the way, but kind of on the racing line. I don't think Herbigno would be too appreciative of that. However, he did get out of the way in the end. As we now head in towards the chicane then, 14 and 15. And Herbigno then making his way around now the final corner. He'll be wanting to try and get past this back marker. On towards that start-finish straight then. Herbigno in the slipstream. And we'll try and get past then. And he's weaving left and right. Gadamaya then in second place. Comes across the start-finish line. Sipola then in third, making his way through. And he will grab third place as they cross the line to start lap 29. There is Woodford in fourth place. Delisle then recovered to fifth place, so a really, really good drive from him. Ryan there in sixth. And a really good race from these guys, as that is the end of the race with Herbigno winning. Bennett then coming across the line in ninth place in the number 22 Comrade car. I have to say, though, it was a great drive from Delisle to recover. Herman there in 11th, Rayet in 12th for the Radical car as he makes his way across the start-finish line. Dove then in 13th, coming through the final corner. 13th place for him in the feature race. Of course, we've got the sprint race as well coming up. 13th place for Dove for AOR Purple. Nguyens, well, we haven't seen Nguyen, sorry, because that's Nguyen 2. But Nguyen, 14th place. Toman, 17th. Ilbrink then in 18th. As he makes his way around the final corner and on towards that start-finish straight. And he will grab 18th place. Brezina in 19th. Barton in 21st. Reed in 23rd. As two retirements there. But Herbigno wins here in the feature race at the Circuit de Catalunya. Herbigno there wins the race. Gadamaya second. Sipola in third. With Delisle there recovering to fifth place. But a great race for Herbigno. He just kept it pretty much under control for the whole race. No mistakes from him. We had two leaders make mistakes in Delisle and in the other car of Sipola. But Herbigno just said to himself, you know what? I'm not going to make any mistakes whatsoever. And he takes the win here in the feature race. Pretty much faultless from the Belgian then. Fastest lap of the race was a 1:26.7. And that'll do it for the feature race. Join us very shortly for the sprint race. Hello everyone and welcome back to the sprint race here in Barcelona, where we saw Herbigno take the win in the very first feature race. We have about 19 laps ahead of us here in this sprint race. And of course you can see here the cars are ready to go. Of course we have that 2-minute period where the cars get themselves ready onto the grid. A shorter race, no pit stop. But here we are then, the red lights are on. They'll turn to yellow to get us set for the sprint race here in Barcelona. The sprint race is underway, and what a start! That's a fantastic start from the lead. And then as we make our way now down towards turn one, looks like it's going to be 3 wide for the battle for third place. Then look at this camera view, it's a great one as we head now down towards turn one. It's a fantastic start here. Teammate tries to go up the inside. Can we keep it clean this time through the sprint race then? Last time we had in the feature race with a car flipping over and over. Looks like it's a clean getaway from all the drivers then as we head through turn 3 for the first time. As we now head our way towards turn 4, the drivers are pretty much running 2 by 2 then as we head now down towards turn 4. And that's the yellow and black car then, the 147 making his way, trying to find a way past, but no way through just yet. A little bit of a moment then for the number 16 then, as we now make our way down towards turn 4. Now that is Delisle a little bit leading now in this sprint race then. He's got Morich behind him, Holstein in third with Herbigno in fourth, Barton fifth, Hur sixth, Woodford seventh, Lindstrom in eighth, Bennett in ninth, and Clay is rounding out the top 10 right now. As you can see there, Holstein really trying to attack Morich here as we head through turn 12 now. And now through that long turn 12, of course, sprint race much shorter. As you can already see, drivers using that gravel there as the racing line. I'm not sure that's entirely the right line, but it looks like all the cars that started this race are still running in it. No major incidents to report of as of yet. But Herbigno, who was the winner in the feature race last time out, is looking to try and make it back-to-back wins. He's right on the back of Moritz then, as we head now down towards turn 1. Up the inside he goes, in towards turn 1. Got the inside line, and he's got the move done. Herbigno moves up to second place. A lovely move from the Devotion driver. He's now got Delisle ahead of him. Now, Delisle had pole position in the feature race, but then a bit of a moment from him sent him all the way down to 18th place. He recovered to 5th place in the feature race, so he did a really good job there. However, Herbigno won the race, so let's see if Delisle this time around can keep the car on the track and keep going as he now leads the sprint race. It is Herbigno now in second place with Moritz in third. That's Barton in fourth with her in fifth. Clay now up to 6th place. It was a really good start from Clay. He was 10th, now he's up to 6th place, so a really good start then. But Herbigno will be trying to chase down the lead of this race. There's Gadameyer then, who was second place last time around, currently 9th at the moment. Maybe didn't get the best of starts, but on the run down towards turn 10. And he'll be looking now to try and find a way past as we now make our way through 11, then through turn 12. Here is right on the back of Barton, then trying to take a different line. No dice for him so far as here there. Here trying to get a move done, but you can see there's a little bit of a train forming here. But as we now head our way through the final corner and on towards that start-finish straight. Now the race distances, of course, are based on time because of the structure of the race. So we've got approximately 25 minutes of racing here. So I'm expecting around about probably 18, 19 laps. I'm expecting that. Looking at the lap times, maybe we could push 20. But there's two cars going side by side there in towards turn 4. And that was a battle with Gadameyer there. And the car behind's got through. Oh, there's a car off there in the background. That's a Radical car. As Hewer there, that is Lindstrom now going around the outside. And was that Woodford there? I think it was Woodford. Getting a little bit of a moment there. And it was Woodford there onto the grass. Out of turn 4. And it's cost him a couple of positions now. And he'll just have to do his best to recover from that one. Down to 8th place. As he now looks on Lindstrom here. Down towards turn 10. But Woodford here has got Gadameyer behind him as well. So, yeah, he's under a little bit of pressure, isn't he, at the moment. Through 11, then through turn 12. But Delisle leads this one. He's 1.7 clear of Herbigno right now. Moritz is 1.3 behind second place man Herbigno, but he's got a load of cars behind him. There is Lindstrom then in 7th place, taking advantage of Woodford's earlier off. Managed to recover the car though, did Woodford. Here he goes then down the inside. Look at that straight line speed from the Radicals car. Up the inside, down towards turn 1. He's got the inside line, and Woodford gets the position there. He's got to hold it through turn 2, and he does. Good move there from Woodford. And Lindstrom here tries a little bit of a different line. It's going to send him a little bit wide through turn 3. And that is what Woodford was expecting. So he was able there to stay ahead. Through turn 3 we go. Through turn 4 we go, my apologies. Lindstrom here has got now Gadameyer behind. As we now head down towards turn 5. And that is the neon green cars ahead. Here is Human there, trying to chase down the car ahead. He's got in 13th place, but he's got the move done actually. The car ahead, so Human actually drops down to 13th place as we now make our way through that long right-hander of turn 9 on towards turn 10. A little bit of a battle behind, so that was Brezina making the move there, up to 12th place. Sipola, meanwhile, 15th place, finished 3rd place in the feature race, now down to 15th place, so not great for him at the moment. We now make our way in towards the final section. He's got to try and find a way past, and Sipola gets the move for 14th. A little bit of a mistake from the driver in front of him there. He had to take a little bit of evasive action, but he did just that. And I believe that was Desiree. Meanwhile, Barton trying to go up the inside of Moritz here. No dice for him. He's just a little bit too far back. But Moritz is under huge pressure from the SimSport News green car of Barton as they make their way through turn 3. And now on towards turn 4. We're 5 laps in now. And we're expecting the race to be anywhere between 18 to 20 laps. I mean, the skies overhead don't look too encouraging, I have to say. Going down the hill then. And now on towards the left-hander of turn 7 and turn 8. Hopefully it stays dry for this one, but Barton not getting that section right there. Didn't look it anyway. Dezerbi, meanwhile, trying to close in on 16th place, but he's got to watch out for Holstein behind him. And actually, Dezerbi, I think he's made a mistake somewhere, because he wasn't running in 17th place before. Either that, or he's just been overtaken for 16th place. He runs wide there at turn number 9, still trying to collect some grass there. And he now drops to 18th place. I wonder if there's something going on with Dezerbi's car then. Meanwhile, Sipala in 14th place, trying to chase down Herman for 13th. As we now make our way in towards turn 13. Now towards 14 and 15. Through this chicane here. Got to get it right. Got to hit your apexes. And accelerate away through turn 16. And now on towards the start-finish straight. In the slipstream of Herman ahead of him. The Finnish driver had a nightmarish round, a round to forget in the feature race, but he looks on it now. 13th place for him. Of course, he's got shorter time to make up these positions in the sprint race, but down towards turn 1, he can get the car slowed down in time, and he now moves up to 13th place. Good move then from the Finnish driver. Up to 13th he goes. And there you can see, using all the track there that he possibly can to help him on his way down towards turn 4. So Delisle leads then, and that is Dezerbi who's out. Rear wing gone, and I assume that's rear suspension. Let's see what happened there. So this is down the start-finish straight towards turn 1. So what's going on here then? So he's lost rear wing. So has he spun the car and it's gone into the wall through turn 1, then through turn 2? He'll go through the long right-hander of turn 3. He gets on the curb. Oh, the car snaps on him. No chance of recovering that one. And Dezerbi out of the sprint race here. So Delisle still leading then. As Gademeyer, is he out of the race as well? I'm not sure actually. We've just got a camera of the pit lane at the moment. Anyway, I think I'm creating false drama. Anyway, Delisle leading then. Leading the way. Fastest lap from him is a 1:26.2 at the moment. As we head now down towards turn 1. And Delisle here, well, we don't know what happened. We never saw what happened in the feature race. However, what we do know is that he fell down to 18th place in the feature race from the lead of the race. He then recovered to 5th place. We didn't see many of his moves on the stream. However, he had a fantastic recovery drive to grab 5th place. Meanwhile, Barton trying to put pressure on the car ahead. This is for 3rd place now. Battle now with Morich as we head our way down towards turn number 5. And you can see there, you can just see from the side, the front left tyre through turn 5 just likes to under-rotate. So you've got to be really careful about how you approach turn 5. I said it before in the feature race. You just have to keep careful. But if you keep calm and you keep that balance in the car, you should be okay. Barton running a little bit wide there on the exit of turn 9. It's cost him a little bit of time down towards turn 10. And that is Hewer behind him in 5th place. Meanwhile, Clay there in 6th. We didn't see a lot of him in the feature race. Holstein there in 19th place in the car number 9. Trying to chase down this car ahead. Number 44 car of, I believe, that's Holstein there. No, Holstein's chasing Holstein apparently. No, I believe that's Reed ahead of him as we now head down towards turn 10. So Reed has actually made the move for 18th place. And Holstein finds himself now in 19th for Comrade Gaming. And that is confirmation that that is Reed there, now in towards the final couple of corners in the final sector. The yellow and black car, 17th place man. Oh, Imrai goes wrong there at the final corner. Just before the final corner anyway. Just got a mountain there of oversteer. Let's have a clearer view of what happened there. So through 14 and 15, gets on the curb. Oh, he gets on the sausage curb there. That's what happened. And once you do that, well, you just haven't got full control of the car. He skidded across the sleeping policeman there and cost himself 2 positions. Sipala then in 13th place. Now down towards turn 5. You can see there the front left actually stopped rotating. So that was a lock-up technically there from Sipala as he's looking for 13th place now through the moves and through the gears, through the revs, up the hill through turn 9. And of course you've got a lot less time here in the sprint race to make up any mistakes, to make up any positions in this race. That's not to say Sipala has made any mistakes. He probably started quite a way down the field. However, he's got to try and keep focused. There's Woodford there, who's currently in 7th, trying to chase down Clay. Now, we didn't see, correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't see Clay at all in the feature race. So it'll be interesting to see who he gets, or how well he finishes in the sprint race. This is the front wing cam. Then we're on board now with Woodford in the slipstream of the car ahead. And you can see a little bit of dust and dirt comes up as the car ahead tries to break the slipstream. Clay does just enough there to hold on to 6th place through turn 1. Of course, for the feature race, we've got point scores up to 20th place. You get a bonus point for pole position, 1 bonus point for fast lap. We didn't see who had the fastest lap though, as we now make our way in towards turn 4. But for the sprint race, the leader and the winner gets 20 points, second gets 17, and it continues 15, 13, 12, all the way then down to 1 point. And Holstein's now out of the race completely, so he retires the car. Let's see what happened with him. No, we haven't got a replay for that one, never mind then. So he's just out of the race, and we're making our way down towards turn 1 with Depka in 22nd place. Sipala then 13th, still looking to try and chase the car in front. Again, running as close as he can to the gravel trap in turn 10 as he possibly can, as he's trying to chase down Brezina. Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper then on entry. Riding on board now with Brezina. Czech driver looking to try and keep ahead of Sipala behind. We know Sipala has strong pace around Barcelona. Overtaking around here can be quite difficult. Now, in the sprint race, you do get 1 bonus point for fastest lap. You get 2 bonus points for classifying in the results with 0x instant points, and 1 bonus point if you get 1x. So clean driving is, well, highly recommended because it means you score points. Meanwhile then, here is Sipala closing on the car ahead, but he doesn't quite have the momentum to have a go down the inside. And as we now make our way in towards turn 3, long right-hander there, and a little bit of understeer for Sipala in the middle of the corner. As we now make our way in towards this right-hander of turn 4. Down the hill we go towards turn 5. And Sipala then has just got to try and keep the gap on, try and keep moving, try and keep on applying that pressure to the car in front. And you can see there going up the hill, he's trying to do just that through the long right-hander here of turn 9. Fast right-hander as well, as the sun's finally coming back out here in Barcelona. We've seen a few grey clouds ahead, so not great. However, I see now Sipala doing his best to just keep going through the moves here and just trying to apply pressure to the car in front. Of course, top 16, sorry, do score points. So currently Sipala would be scoring 4 points for this feature race. He did finish in 3rd place, so he's already got 25 points to his name. And of course, if he got 0x in the feature race, he would have got 2 points. Here's Woodford then going side by side down towards turn number 1. Still side by side then through turn 2. He's on the outside line. And Clay is just about doing enough then through turn 3 to hold on to 6th place there. Woodford had a really good run, but Clay's done just enough to hold on to that 6th place clean and fair. That's what we like to see through turn 4 on the run down towards turn 5. Now, Clay and Woodford here have to be careful that their battling doesn't cost them time and position. Woodford getting a little bit hayward out of turn 5 there. And now he'll be under extreme pressure from Gadamaya behind. See if we can see them going through turn 9. There is Clay then. Yeah, you can see Woodford there is right under pressure from Gadamaya as we make our way now down towards turn 10. The Austrian, who finished 2nd last time out, currently 8th in the sprint race. And now has a battle ahead to deal with. He's got Woodford, and then he's also got Clay ahead as well to try and make a way past. Loving this onboard shot here. Gives you a real sense of how smooth you have to be with this steering wheel. Woodford not getting a great entry into turn 14. And you can see here, overall, that's affected his exit on towards turn 16. And there you can see now Gadamaya is really closing in to the car ahead of Woodford. Will he have a try and move down the inside? He looks for the move, but he's top-ended. He's reached the top of his revs and he just couldn't quite have a speed advantage then as we now head through turn 3. And he had the slipstream, he had the run. Oh, he runs a little bit wide actually, Gadamaya. On the exit of turn 3, now down towards turn 4. I think that'll be at least 1x for him there, so he's got to be careful. Because if he had 0x before, he's just lost a point for that. Sipola, meanwhile, in 13th place right now. Getting all the way now through turn 6, that slight kick there, and then on towards the braking zone of turn 7. He just can't quite find that way past, can he? Gadamaya's got a really good run through turn 9. I think he'll leave that opportunity to get past until the start-finish line, or until at least the first corner. He'll just be looking to put that pressure on Woodford behind. This is the rear diffuser cam, if you like, on board with Woodford. As you can see how close Gadamaya actually is. We've also got Lindstrom behind them. He's currently in 9th place. And you can just about see Bennett and Ilbrink and Brezina in the distance. So they're not actually too far away from each other. Here's Gadamaya, who could try once again. He's in the slipstream, down the start-finish straight. You can see he's got the slipstream, goes side by side now, down towards turn 1, and he can take the racing line before the braking zone. Gadamaya then up to 7th place as we head through turn 1. Nice little move there from the Austrian. He now has Clay ahead of him, and he now wants to get past. He's hungry for more, I would say. Lap 13, I would say, going by the judge of time. No, I'm not going to guess how long there's left. But there we go. I would say we've got about 7 laps to go. If it's dry running to the end. Gadamaya, a long lock-up on that front left-hand side. Barton, meanwhile, in 4th place. And he's looking to try and close in on Morich once again. Just keeping that pressure on. He's got Hewer behind him as well. So Barton, again, we didn't see him at all in the feature race. Probably something to do with the 11-car pile-up we saw in the feature race at turn 1. A little bit of a moment from him on the exit. And as we make our way now in towards the final couple of corners. And make sure you are following AOR here on Twitter. It's at Apex on Racing. And you can also follow me there if you like. It's at KSMCGF1. We've got Morich here in 3rd place. And it looks like he wants to build that gap. We've got a huge battle behind here. Here's Ilbrink, who's on the back here of 10th place man, who goes to the right hand side. You can see the dust they pick up. Then Ilbrink going side by side now, down towards turn 1. They're still side by side, just about a tyre width apart, with Bennett ahead as they go now through turn 1. Ilbrink's got the inside line, and Bennett there has to concede the position. So Ilbrink moves up to 10th place. Lovely move then from Ilbrink. But look at Bennett here. He's under pressure from Brezina as well. As we head down towards turn 4, Ilbrink has got away from them. But Brezina wants to try and take advantage of Bennett then. Through turn 4. Down towards turn 5 then. He's going to be on the outside this time around. Will he try a little bit of a switchback here maybe? No, he can't quite do it. So Brezina was opportunistic there. Just couldn't quite take full advantage of that one. But he's also got to be careful because that is Sipola behind him. Brezina right on the back of Bennett here, heading through turn 9. On the run once again down towards turn 10. And look at Sipola now. He's got a great run out of turn 9. Will he try for a move? He will! Down the inside! Oh, he's just about made it! What a move from Sipola! He judged that to perfection there. Any later on the brakes and he would have clattered into the back of Bennett. Let's have another look at that. Riding on board with Sipola then, moves down the inside, leaves his braking as late as possible. Oh, that was close. And Sipola gets the move done. Wow, he left that late. But a great, great move. He moves now up to 12th place, and Brezina there will have been completely caught off guard at that one. But he'll just have to recover from that one. I don't think he'll be too happy with the move, but I don't think Sipola will mind getting past there. Now it's Sipola's turn to try and have a move on Bennett then through turn 1. On towards turn 2. And then in through that long right-hander of turn 3. He'll have that momentum from getting past the car in towards turn 10. Now he'll carry that momentum and surely now try and get past Bennett for 11th place. Meanwhile then Delisle leads then 1.1 ahead of Herbigno, with Morich in 3rd, Barton 4th, Hewer in 5th, Clay 6th, Gadamaya in 7th, Woodford 8th, and Lindstrom in 9th place right now. As Sipler here, still trying and find a way past Bennett. Obviously, he's only been behind him for a lap so far. Not even that. So as a driver, you're now looking for where the weak points are. Where can I try and find a move? Where can I try and get away past? But Sipler right now, down towards turn 10. Sees that Bennett there actually struggles out of turn 10, does Bennett. And Sipler here takes full advantage. He now knows he's got the momentum now. As we now head through turn 13, through the chicane of 14 and 15, riding on board with Bennett now. You can see how close he is to the back of Bennett here as they head through turn 16. And Sipler's going to go for the move then, just on the exit of the corner then. They are going to be side by side for the whole straight, are they? A little bit of dust kicking up from Sipler. No, Sipler has the straight line speed. He had the better exit out of turn 16. And Sipler then moves up to 11th place. A good move from Sipler then. He saw the weakness that Bennett had through the third sector, and he took full advantage of it and now moves up to 11th place. His next target will now be 10th place. And there he is, the red car there, just going through your picture. That is of Ilbrink there, who made the move on those two drivers earlier on to find a way past. Now Bennett is once again got to try and hold off Brezina, for that's now going to be 11th place now. They're going to be, 12th place they're going to be battling over now, instead of 10th where it was a couple of laps ago. So Delisle then still leading on lap number 16. And if I'm reliably informed, there will be 19 laps here. So we're looking at 4 and a bit laps to go if you're picky. There is Gademeyer, still trying to close in on Clay. And Clay's here putting up a really good battle. Lap 17 then, 3 laps to go. Really putting up a good battle here is Clay. Riding on board with Gademeyer as we head now through turn 16. Into the slipstream now. And you can see he's trying, Clay, to try and break that slipstream. I believe that's a back marker ahead of them as well, trying to get out of the way. So Gademeyer will have been a little bit thrown off by that, down towards turn 1, and yeah, he can't try down the inside there. So Gademeyer maybe a little bit aggrieved from that back marker. He would have given Clay the slipstream as well. Well, sometimes for Clay, when your luck is in, your luck is just in. Having a little replay of Woodford here, who gets onto the sleeping policeman, now running through turn 16. So what's going on here? He saw that battle then. Yeah, I think he was just getting onto the curve, so he's pushing quite hard and hit those sleeping policemen. So whether he has a little bit of suspension damage, the car looks okay though, and he looks good to carry on. Gademeyer, we were in 7th place, still trying to close in on Clay. Sometimes for Clay, when your luck is in, your luck is just in, and maybe he deserves it for the sprint race after what happened on the very first set of corners, in fact turn 2. Here's Gademeyer here, again, looking into turn 10, not going to go for it though. A little bit wayward on the exit there is Clay. Gademeyer still closing in behind him as we now make our way in towards the final couple of corners. Gademeyer still on the back here of Clay, but you've also got Woodford and Lindstrom here who decided to join in on this battle here. Making their way through the final corner. 2 laps to go here. Lap number 18, you can see Gademeyer this time in the slipstream. And can he try and get this move done then? Down towards turn 1, and he can't. Clay just does enough there. He did move multiple times on the straight there. I'm not sure what the stewards are going to make of that. However, he did try and break the slipstream. And you can see there 2 different lines being taken through turn 3. Gademeyer there running a little bit wide through turn 3. The initial apex was okay, but he just seemed to run wide there through the middle of the corner. Got a little bit of an understeer, and it just has cost him a little bit of time then. Woodford is now going to try and take advantage of this one. Meanwhile, Herbigno, is now 7/10 behind the leader. There he is then. He's actually right on the tail of him now. This could be a great battle then. So we've got 2 laps to go then. 1.5 if you're picky. And Herbigno then making his way through the final couple of corners. And he'll now know he'll be heading on to the final lap. So Delisle here has got a race on his hands. He's been looking comfortable, but Herbigno in these last couple of laps has really pulled in here. And no, that is the end of the race. So the end of the race then, Delisle just about holds on. Herbigno in 2nd. Moritz then will finish in 3rd. Barton in 4th. And he crosses the line and actually goes up to No, that was the positions then. Hewer in 5th, Clay then in 6th place, Gadamire 7th, Woodford in 8th, holding on there. Lindstrom finishes in 9th, with Ilbrink in 10th place there. Bennett finishes across the line in 11th. Brezina just couldn't quite take advantage of that late charge then. Sipola 14th in the end, and Dove making his way through turn 10. We'll just be hoping he never sees Barcelona ever again, to be honest with you. He's not had a great day here today, and he'll just be hoping that he can move on and head to the next race, to be honest with you. It's been a tough day for him, but sometimes as a driver, it makes you stronger. As he now makes his way around the final couple of corners here. There is Nguyen, who again hasn't quite had the best day. Timon as well, coming through at the final corner. Rayetz as well, finishing P21. Herbigno in 2nd place there. Not quite enough. If he had one more lap, he probably would have done it. But Delisle wins the sprint race here and tops off a performance. Maybe robbed him of that position there in the feature race. But that will do it for the sprint race.